Today, an important chapter has been added to the ongoing legal saga surrounding federal employment practices with a significant ruling from the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. In this latest development, the appellate judges have chosen to overturn a preliminary injunction that had been issued by a lower court, a decision that has immediate repercussions for probationary federal employees. Saute, Sevete. This report takes a deep dive into the intricacies of this ruling, its judicial nuances, and its broader implications for the Trump administration's efforts to reshape federal employment policies. The controversy began when a federal trial court pushed back against the Trump administration's move to terminate probationary employees, ruling in favor of protecting these workers from what was determined to be wrongful dismissal. This decision was widely acknowledged as a substantial rebuke to the administration's authority, representing a victory for workers' rights and federal accountability. However, as with many decisions in the legal system, the matter did not end there. The Trump administration swiftly moved to appeal the ruling, and the latest appeal has now taken another decisive turn. In a 2-1 split decision, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals dismissed the lower court's preliminary injunction that had ordered the federal government to rehire the dismissed probationary employees. The appeals court's opinion carefully sidestepped directly addressing whether the terminations were lawful or not. Instead, the judges emphasized their focus on the jurisdictional technicality at issue. According to the opinion, the court was not prepared to rule on the substantive merits of the termination claims. Rather, the matter turned on a technical point. The suit, initiated by 19 states from the District of Columbia, was questioned on the basis of standing. In the view of the appellate judges, these states did not have the requisite jurisdiction to challenge the terminations, thereby nullifying the need to enforce the lower court's order. The appellate ruling marks a temporary victory for the Trump administration, as the order to rehire those federal employees has been rescinded. For now, for the employees involved, the decision is a double-edged sword. On one hand, the removal of the preliminary injunction delays the restoration of jobs and the associated benefits such as salaries, health care, and long-term career security. On the other hand, the ruling does not end the broader legal battle. Even as the Fourth Circuit remains divided on the issue of standing, other cases in different circuits continue to move forward. Notably, a proceeding in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which also addresses the re-employment of the probationary workers, has maintained its lower court order. This juxtaposition underscores the legal complexity and the varied judicial interpretations that now bedevil these cases. This development raises several strategic questions for the plaintiffs who brought the suit in the first place, a coalition of 19 states in the District of Columbia. Given the split decision, there is the option to request an en banc review, meaning that the entire Fourth Circuit could be called on to reconsider the panel's decision. Such a move would allow for a more comprehensive review of the technical and substantive issues underlying the case. Alternatively, the plaintiffs might choose to focus on litigating the matter in jurisdictions where standing is not at issue. In so doing, they would be ensuring that the rights of the affected federal employees are defended through every available legal channel. The decision now hangs in a delicate balance. It remains to be seen whether the legal team will pursue further appellate review or reroute their strategy to the parallel cases currently underway in other circuits. Beyond the immediate legal maneuverings, the ruling has larger implications for federal governance and the future of public service. The probationary employees in question represent a vital segment of the federal workforce, serving not out of a desire for personal gain, but driven by a commitment to public service. These are individuals whose qualifications, training, and dedication have placed them in roles critical to the operation of government functions. Their struggles are emblematic of a broader conflict over the integrity of federal employment practices. In the microcosm of individual careers, the impact is profoundly personal, affecting not only the livelihoods of the workers, but also the stability of the public services they provide. In the macro context, this legal development is also a barometer of how far the Trump administration's ambition has extended in its efforts to reshape governmental institutions. Projects like Project 2025 aim to recalibrate federal staffing in ways that align closely with the administration's broader political objectives. Critics argue that these moves could effectively purge federal institutions of those whose commitment lies with the enduring principles of the Constitution, replacing them with a cadre of employees who display unwavering loyalty to the administration's agenda. Such a shift would not only disrupt the operational efficiency of government agencies, but could also erode public trust in institutions long regarded as bastions of impartial governance. Furthermore, this case serves as a stark reminder of the role that the judiciary plays in maintaining the balance of power in the United States. Although legal disputes such as these may appear to be minor in isolation, they contribute incrementally to a body of case law that eventually informs the decisions of the Supreme Court. While the trial court and the initial appellate ruling represent significant milestones, the ultimate arbiter in this matter remains the Supreme Court. There exists a broader expectation that the judicial system, through its cumulative decisions, will uphold the principles enshrined in the Constitution. In this light, every legal challenge, even one centered on what might seem a technicality, plays a role in shaping the rule of law in America. The implications of this appellate decision extend beyond the immediate parties involved. It underscores the need for constant vigilance against efforts that may erode civil rights and undermine institutional accountability. The ongoing legal contest is not merely an administrative dispute. It is part of a larger struggle for democratic norms and the safeguarding of public service. Every instance in which government actions are left unchecked, even on seemingly narrow legal grounds, risks setting a precedent that could have far-reaching consequences. Donald Trump's pursuit of increasingly expansive power has, in many instances, demonstrated a willingness to bypass established legal limits. As such, the decision to overturn the preliminary injunction is more than a temporary setback for affected employees. It is a signal that the fight for equitable treatment and adherence to constitutional principles is far from over. While the ruling may appear as a setback for temporary federal employees who believe they were unjustly terminated, it also represents a crucial juncture in the ongoing legal debate. The appeals process has not closed the door on future litigation regarding these wrongful terminations, and there remains a pathway for the review and potential vindication of the employees' claims. As legal battles continue in other circuits, where standing is not in dispute, it is conceivable that the overall trajectory could ultimately favor the protection of federal employees' rights. This case, therefore, is a microcosm of a larger legal struggle, wherein every technical ruling contributes to a comprehensive narrative on administrative overreach, accountability, and the enduring strength of constitutional governance. In conclusion, this latest appellate decision, while technically grounded in issues of jurisdiction and standing, reverberates far beyond the immediate legal questions at hand. It brings into sharp focus the tension between administrative authority and the rights of federal employees, highlighting the precarious balance that must be maintained within any government committed to the rule of law. The probationary employees whose livelihoods and career trajectories have been jeopardized by these administrative actions serve as a poignant reminder of the human stakes involved. Their struggle is intertwined with the broader challenge of ensuring that the federal government remains true to its constitutional responsibilities. The unfolding legal saga is emblematic of the larger political battle that defines our current era, a struggle where the protection of democratic principles is pitted against efforts to consolidate power. As federal courts continue to deliberate and as more cases progress through the judicial system, it is incumbent upon all stakeholders, judges, legal professionals, public servants, and citizens alike to remain engaged and vigilant. The decisions made in these courts today will indelibly shape the future of public governance in America. It is a call to ensure that every legal action taken, even those arising from technical issues, ultimately contributes to the preservation of the constitutional rights and freedoms that are the cornerstone of our democratic society. As we continue to monitor this complex legal landscape, it remains clear that the fight for justice is multifaceted. The technical ruling issued by the Fourth Circuit is not the final word. It is an interim chapter in an ongoing narrative that may yet see significant reversals and further judicial clarification. Meanwhile, with cases such as the one pending in the Ninth Circuit, the promise of re-employment and the protection of public service still actively contested in our nation's courts. The stakes are high, not only for the individuals directly affected, but for the integrity of the federal workforce and, by extension, for the democratic principles that guide our nation. How? In a time when every legal decision carries weighty implications for our future, it is essential that all parties continue to hold the line in defense of constitutional values. The current controversy is a reminder that even the most technical legal disputes have the potential to impact society on a grand scale. As this narrative unfolds, it underscores the importance of accountability, transparency, and adherence to the rule of law in every facet of government operations. The perseverance of justice depends on our collective willingness to scrutinize, challenge, and ultimately uphold the principles that secure our freedoms for generations to come.